What's up, guys? This is Xavier with the Farrow Philosophies. Thanks for tuning in again. We're at episode 5 now. I want to apologize for last week. I didn't put something out. I ended up getting wrapped up in another side project I was working on. So I do apologize for that. Uh, I am going to try to stay consistent with the Mondays at 5 or 5 o'clock ish. Sometimes um, it takes a little bit for YouTube to get the video downloaded or what have you. So sometimes it doesn't come out right at 5. So bear with me. Be like 5 to 6 ish, I guess. Um, but we're going to try to be more consistent with that on Mondays. So this week we're going to talk about, or not really going to talk about nothing. We're going to talk just little bullet points, kind of little food for thought that I was thinking. And like I said, if you've seen on my live video a day or two ago, I said it was going to get a little political. So bear with me, it is going to get a little political, but it's more or less just for you to think for yourself and not really just think about what's mainstreamly being pushed in your face every day, and maybe shed some light to some questions that you didn't think of because the spotlight wasn't shed on those questions, you know? So let's get into it.
Thanks for warning me.
My first point, and I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little heated because I actually recorded this whole video already, and this shit deleted after I recorded it. So I already been through all this shit. So I'm gonna have to re-go through all this shit. So bear with me. But my first point was the fact that we all know the quote, the money is the root of all evil. So with money being the root of all evil, and most of us believing this is true, we can see throughout many examples of bad shit that happens in the name of money, murders, deaths, uh, you know, going homeless, things like that over money. So it's the root of all evil, yet it's the center of our economy, our world economy, not just in America, but all around the planet. Money is the root of that economic system. Why is the root of our economic system the root of evil? That's for you to think about. My second point, and I really didn't start getting political or into politics, and I'm still not even like I'm kind of into politics now, but I really didn't start getting into politics until this last election, or a little bit before this last election, when Trump started getting looked at as president. I started paying attention a little bit, but uh, I really didn't pay attention, but I was familiar with it. I seen, previous elections. I'm 25 now, so I seen like 5 going on, like 6 elections now. So the first ones I can remember is Bush, the Bush debates. And since those Bush debates, I feel like they've been talking about the same topics. Like, since the debates I can remember, they stay hitting on issues about, oh, we're going to lower taxes for the lower income families, for the working class families. We're going to stop giving tax cuts on, the wealthy individuals and have them pay a little bit more taxes. And, we've been hearing that. We've been hearing, we're going to do this for our school systems. We're going to do this for, we're going to create jobs. We've been hearing this since all the elections I can remember. From then and up till now, we're still talking about the same shit, still talking about what we're going to fix, and it's still the same points we've been hitting on for years. So it kind of make me feel bamboozled. Like, we done been through, and I'm sure this is shit. They've been talking about presidencies way before my time, but they've been talking about the same shit. We still working on the same shit, still not fixing the same shit where it's better for everybody. So I don't really think they want it to be better for everybody. Just a select few, you know. And we got to leave a working class in there. We got to have a lower class. We got to have an upper class. We got to have people to take the taxes from, people to help out in the struggle, because that's going to rally campaigns. Let's give that working class something to fight for. We're going to fight for your jobs. We're going to fight for your tax cuts. Same shit we've been hearing, and we keep getting played like, you know what, this sounds good. You know what, I like that. Let's vote for it. It just, I don't know. Think about it though. Why we still talking about the same shit we've been talking about? Common thought, and I hear it. I'm sure everybody's heard the quote, "The man is keeping us down." And I know, people I would talk to, I think could probably agree with that quote. Yeah, I feel like the man is keeping us down. So if you feel that way, that the man is keeping us down, why do you think voting for anybody that's going to become the man is not going to still keep us down? They've been keeping us down. Just think. I was watching the DNC, the whole nomination of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to the Democratic Party as their nominees. I was watching that, and there was a lot of points, man, that was coming up from that I was just thinking about. And it was like their whole campaign was the fact that it wasn't going to be Trump in office. We're going to get Trump out of office, which is not a good campaign to have. That is pretty much a campaign I can have. That's a campaign you can have. You can go up and run against Trump, and guess what? I'm going to be like, you know what? He's not Trump. Let's get him in there. That's not good neither, because you could be getting somebody worse in there. So just think about that. Think about what they're promoting to get themselves in there. It's not going to be Trump. Okay. What is it going to be? You just telling me what it's not going to be. What is it going to be? And they was talking about the same shit, like I said, that they've been talking about. We're going to help the working class and get some more jobs in here. I want to do some tax cuts. Same shit they've been talking about. Let's see. I have always, or maybe not always, but for a long time, and I think a lot of people out there believe the same thing, is media manipulates. Media wants you to see certain things. So pay attention to what they're showing you, what they're pressing on you, and try to think why they're pressing that on you. But also think about the things they're not pressing on, the things that they're avoiding talking about, the things they're not bringing up, as much as they're bringing up the shit they're trying to press on you. So with that in mind, thinking that way, and I'm not here to support or say or agree with anything he's doing. I'm just trying to get you to pay attention outside the box, outside of what they're trying to focus on. And from day one, since this dude's presidency, Donald Trump, they have been against him in mainstream. They have not given him his, like, oh, he's the new president. Let's give him his respect. Let's see what he can do for us. They have not given him that respect or that credit at all. From day one, they was bashing him, playing, videos of people screaming and crying like, oh, this is going to be the end of the world. Trump just got sworn into presidency. And I'm, like I said, I'm not agreeing with what's going on through his presidency or not. But pay attention, since day one, mainstream has not been for his seat in presidency at all. They're not fucking with him being the president. And they haven't been bullshitting for the mainstream and the public like, oh, this is our president. And they have not claimed this nigga. They have not claimed him as the president they wanted ever since day one. Before he could even do anything, before he even started making anything happen, it was like, yo, let's wait till he fucks up. And every time they had an opportunity to jump on something he fucked up on, they took that joint and they ran. Why is that? It's not like he's the only president that's made fuck ups. There's been a lot of presidents that's made fuck ups, and drawing stuff has happened in their presidency. We went to war in Iraq while George was in presidency, and he got his criticisms, but there's still people that respected him and media mainstream that respected him and things like that. But nobody is for this dude Trump at all. Why is that? If you pay attention to actual policies, like I said, not everything I'm not supporting the bull. Not everything I think he's doing is great, but there's been some policies that's helped us as the people, has helped us as working class. There's been shit that's happened under his presidency that was the lookout. Fucking how many people got free, good ass free money and was still probably working at the same time they was getting that good ass free money. Could have done something with it if you used it correctly and got yourself in a nice ass place or something. All shit that happened under his presidency. And a lot of, you know what I mean, not just that, but a lot of different things that not getting mainstream play like that. What else? Oh, they keep playing with Trump about the whole, you know, they're pretty much blaming him for this whole COVID shit. Like every chance they get, oh man, look, Trump's at it again, killing 10,000 more people today with COVID. Look, this dude is not out on the streets killing people with COVID. COVID is this virus that's killing people. It's this deadly, crazy, sick ass virus that's killing people. That got a patent that was man made, that somebody created, that got set out, all suspiciously close to election time. Riots going on, all close to election time. Racism being real punched in your face, all close to election time. Racism. You know, this whole George Floyd, this whole Black Lives Matter, pretty much like real in your face right now. That is almost like, you know what? You with us or you not with us? You're black, you're white, and it's pushing this race effect where you're constantly thinking about race, which all race is a division. We're all people. We're all human beings. So we're focusing on this skin color because they want us to focus on this skin color because it's something that's going to divide us as the people as a whole that can come together and do something great. They want to divide us. So let's blow up race. Let's make it a how many times was race wars used to distract us and get something crazier done while y'all distracting and bringing up racial issues? Right now, racism is hot in America. It's been hot in America since America started, but now it's in your face. Now it's so publicized. Now it's so raw, and you can't ignore it. You can't say, "Oh, I didn't know racism was going on." It's in your face everywhere you go right now, and they want that. They want to divide us because the more you can divide, the easier it's going to be to conquer. Just think about that. That's history 101. Divide and conquer. Why do you think they've been pushing race in America? It's just another division. Something they could divide us. Right all before election. It's crazy. Just peep this type shit. I'm not saying black lives don't matter. Black lives matter. They fucking been mattered, but they don't matter to America. And the whole blowing up of this shit didn't change the fact that black lives still don't matter today to a lot of people. It's in your face, and we can see just how much that a lot of people don't think black lives matter right now. But that didn't just start happening because of George Floyd. These people that don't think black lives matter been not thinking black lives matter. Their ancestors been not thinking black lives matter. It's been going on, not just since Trump. It's just in your face now. It's exposed. Now we really talking about this shit. Just think about this stuff. Oh, another point that's off the DNC tip, but just another random point. I didn't really have these in any order, but I'm peeping that they're starting to take little rights away from us slowly and quietly under our noses without bringing no attention to it. It's not in the mainstream. They're not blowing it up. It's right underneath our noses. And what caught my eye to it really was my girl reading this article, or it wasn't even an article. It was something about she was reading something from my kid's school, I think, and it was saying about if you send them into school versus doing the cyber school, which we're gonna put, you know what I mean, we're gonna do that cyber school shit because it was saying you put them in school and there so happens to be some sort of, let's say, fever or some sort of sickness that your kid has, they then can take your kid straight to the hospital. They don't got to call you. They don't got to tell you, hey, we're going to take him to the hospital. They just take him to the hospital. You don't got to be present, nothing. Right there, that's a red flag. Two, they then dug deeper into it by saying, all right, once we bring your child to the hospital, if he's COVID positive or anything like that, boom, he's in quarantine, or she, or whatever. Your child's in quarantine. So now, from the time you dropped your kid off at school or your kid took the bus to school, now you don't see your child until after they get out of quarantine because they're not going to let you see them in quarantine. And they're not going to call you and tell you, hey, we're taking your child to the hospital. You gave up that right by letting your kid go to school, but they don't necessarily put it in broad words like, hey, give up your rights by sending your kids to school. But they say, if you send your kids to school and something happens, we're just going to go straight to the hospital. They put it real sneakily in there. But essentially, as a parent, you're giving up your rights to say, hey, no, I don't want my child to be taken to the hospital. That's shady. Keep shit like that. And not just in national government, but also in your cities and your state governments too. Like it's some real shady rights shit getting done. Keep it. Uh oh. If you was paying attention and you watched my episode 2 when I talked about my shroom trip and I got into the fact that people are selfish. Everybody's selfish. Everybody thinks for themselves. Yet we kind of get this gloss over it, like that's not going to be the case in politics. And then the people that run our country and the people that have a say in our lives, they're just going to be perfect and not selfish. They're not going to be human beings. They're going to be what we want and what we need. No, these people are human beings, selfish like you and I. Selfishness still happens in politics. Trust and believe. Not only that, but uh, think about how many jobs that you've had where people were doing their job incorrectly or like skipping some steps. Maybe they didn't do the steps correctly because they was trying to get out of work before 5 o'clock or something. They was in a rush or something. They just do some shit sloppily. They do it incorrectly. How many times have you seen that in your work environment? Somebody doing their job incorrectly. That shit don't stop at politics. Trust and believe. People are still doing their job incorrectly. Just because they got this high seat and they got so much power does not mean they do everything correctly. They're human beings. They're selfish and they're going to do their job sometimes incorrectly. Just pay attention to it. Uh, this is another one. We got so many technologies going on, so many different technologies, crazy futuristic shit, like Back to the Future type shit going on here soon. Like talking about AI, robots in building and in the making, and what I mean, robots talking and shit like that. Like we're so advanced in this technology, yet our disease rates are still increasing, and we're not using the technology to get third world countries out of being third world countries to be healthy, to thrive, just like America would be thriving. But like the same access we have as Americans is not, as most of you guys know, I think, is not accessible all around the world. We have all these technologies, we have all this money, and we still have third world countries. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. Think for yourselves, but that sounds shady. Another one, medications. Another thing that's just like, what? Just sounds shady as shit. So let me tell you that I got this one problem, right, Doc? Be like, all right, take this. But Pete, you know what I mean? Come back to me if you're having trouble with this or this happens or this happens. Might be a risk you die. What? Bro says it's a rash on my back. What are you talking about? I might die if I take this medication. If it doesn't agree with you well, you know what I mean? Like that's just suspicious as fuck. Why would I take a medication for one problem and the side effects give me 10 to 12 more problems that I could have? That don't sound good. Yet we buy medications all the time and we get our doctors to prescribe us these things all the time. It, it's not good for us. You know, I don't really be trying to take Tylenol that much for real, unless it's really severe. It's just really not good for us. There's so many natural things from this earth that could be used to help us in these situations and with these pains or with these other problems that we're having, even mental issues. A lot of natural things we could be using, but they want to peddle these medications because at the end of the day, they're not. You know, what I mean, these medical industries are not for the people; they're for the money, the root of all evil. What our economy thrives on, and what makes them a booming business with mad fucking money, because that's what they thrive on is money, and that's why they get money, and that's why they push these drugs on you, and y'all go pick them right up at CVS. Well, that's what y'all do. Just think. All right, I'm gonna go back to the DNC because I was writing down little bullets as I was watching. But I peeped throughout the 4 day program. There was a lot of pushing of the state of our women and children, how the state of our women and children are, and that's a red flag usually. You know, that's a psychological warfare because once you start seeing our women and children are this, our women and children are that, that's in the negative. Our women and children are starving, our women and children are dying. We don't want to see that. A normal, healthy individual doesn't want to see a woman or child, you know, in a bad way. So we're going to do something that's going to save that situation so that they're not starving, so that they're not dying, so that, you know what I mean? And it's using that emotional connection to get you influenced in their cause, in their, you know what I mean? So it's not just women and children in these situations, it's grown ass men in these same situations. So why is it not pushing that? Just think about that. Another thing, I'm gonna call out Michelle Obama on her little speech that she said. First thing she comes in on the speech hot. We all know I hate politics. What? You are like the most influential Democratic Party member, Democratic voice to the people. People love you, listen to everything you got to say, but you hate politics. Trust and believe this woman does not hate politics. She would not be where she's at if she hated politics. Last last note I'm going to leave it on is it's going to be a question, a rhetorical question. What was the whole purpose of this country? Why did we come to this country? Why did we leave Britain? left England to come to this country for what specific reason, above all else, was religious freedom. Above all else, we wanted to escape religious persecution and be able to believe in what we wanted to believe in and to praise how we wanted to praise. Yet, throughout all of politics, all of America, Christianity is pushed heavy. I really don't think, I mean, they kind of start pushing, Jewish holidays a little bit. At least in my area, there's a lot of Jewish people in my area, but they kind of start pushing a little bit of Jewish stuff. You know what I mean, getting them involved and stuff. But they really be pushing the shit out of Christianity. So ask yourself, in the country that's whole main purpose was to be able to to be able to believe in what you wanted to believe in and have the faith that you wanted to have, why are we pushing one individual religion? Just ask backwards. And if you just look throughout history, just look throughout what's been going on in America and what America stands for, what they want you to vote for and get us back to, once that's another thing they was pushing, we'll get Trump out of office and get back to where America needs to be, get back to where they want us to be. By doing the same shit that they've been talking about previous elections before, by creating new jobs, by lowering taxes, by helping out the working class. They're going to do all this shit, get America back to where we need to be. But ask yourself, before President Trump, 4 years ago, America, before Trump's presidency, were you happy with your America personally? Were you happy with what America was doing for you? Did you feel like America was for you? Ask yourself. Maybe it was. Maybe you think we do need to get back to that. But I feel like a lot of people I talk to, and I've heard it from a lot of y'all mouths, and I hear it in daily culture. Oh man, I got raped in Texas. Oh man, they killed me in this. The government's doing this now. Da 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 da. Y'all fucking complaining and complaining and complaining about your government and what they're doing to you. But let's get back to that. Why? Ask yourself, why you want to get back to that? I don't know. But what else? I don't know. I think that's about all my points for real, for real. Like I said, this ain't to sway you. Think for yourself. That's what this is really for. Think for yourself. But it's so much mainstream being pushed right now. It's so much mainstream being pushed close to election time that's all y'all are paying attention to. A lot of y'all are paying attention to. Just pay attention to some other shit. Pay attention to the fundamentals of what you know in your soul. These just common phrases that we say to ourselves. Money's the root of all evil. With power comes corruption. These sayings, things like that, they don't come out of thin air. They come from experience. They come from history, which repeats itself and repeats itself. And we keep electing people and keep electing people. They keep putting us in repetition. Just think a little bit for yourself. Think about what you're voting for. Think about what you really want. Think about what you want for your country and what you want for yourself, for real. Because everybody's selfish. What do you want for yourself? Most of us are going to want the same thing, believe it or not. We're going to want to live where we can all live a better life together, for the most part. Most of us human beings, we want to all live together. We want to be peaceful. We don't want to get raped and money issues and shit. I can't pay the rent and shit. I can't even look at my paycheck right now because I know they did me in taxes. We don't want none of that. All of us probably agree on those points right there. So ask yourself what you really want out of your government. And if the government they keep shoveling to you is what you even really want. Because I feel like, just like the Constitution that says we the people, has not been for the people. Just like Barack Obama said, oh, they drafted this document and it wasn't originally for we the people, but we made some progressions. We're still progressing yet today. Hundreds of years down the road after that document is made, we're still making progressions. So ask yourself, is it progressions we need to make, or do we just need to throw this shit out because it was never for we the people anyway? Start from scratch. For real, for real. I don't know. Just think for yourself, though. That's all this video was intended for. I'm glad you tuned in, watched it, stuck with me. I know I said it was going to be a short one. I ended up rambling on, but if you stayed through to the end, I'm glad you did. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, go ahead and follow the Farrow Philosophy page. Shout out to y'all, by the way. We're at 100 likes officially, so let's keep going from there. And again, like I said, we're going to try to see you every Monday at 5-ish, in the 5-ish area. All right, peace.